Now, we've seen what happened with others when it comes to this, such as Wilf Zaha, such as Harry Kane. Is it in Grealish's best interest to sign a new deal at Villa that would then, in the process of signing it, would leave him with next to no room to manoeuvre in the future? Harry Kane, we know, signed a 6-year contract in 2018, committing him to the club until 2024. And certainly, in the last few days, Nuno Espirito Santo, the new man in charge at Tottenham, has been very strong in the Kane situation.
Harry is our player. That's period. No need to talk about anything else. Now is the moment to Harry to recover his energy, to rest. And when Harry comes again, we have time to speak, to have good conversations. But like I said, now is the moment for Harry to rest, to prepare for what's coming. And what's coming is, and I'm looking forward for him to join the group and start working together.
So as I said, Kane signed a 6-year deal in 2018. That commits him till 2024. I mentioned Zaha, Simon, at Palace, a new 5-year contract with Palace. That keeps him there until 2023. I mean, the question is, regards Grealish, and of course he's hot property, although he didn't feature maybe as much as many thought he would in the Euros. Is it in his best interest to sign a new Villa deal, or would it leave him with next to no room to manoeuvre?
Well, if you're going to put these two guys in the equation and use Kane and Zaha as the sort of the flip side of an argument how better off they'll be or worse off they'll be, you've got to look at the time that these players were signed on new contracts and the reasons behind it. Palace put Zaha on a new contract, A, to give him more money in the short term, B, to protect their position, and no one legislated for a crash in the world the way that it's happened. So it's changed the landscape for Wilfried Zaha, because Palace will sell Wilfried Zaha tomorrow if someone pays 60 million quid for him. Unfortunately, no one's going to pay 60 million quid for him. They're probably going to pay 25 million quid, and that won't suit Palace. And it will suit Wilfried, but it won't suit Palace. Now, with the Jack Grealish situation, it depends what the boy wants. If he wants to be a Matthew Le Tissier and stay at a football club because he's comfortable there, he gets a great big bag of money from them, he's a big fish in a slightly smaller pond, although Aston Villa are a brilliant football club. If they can get, keep pushing up the league, then there's an argument saying that that he can play in Europe with Villa if they're going to be supported by these two guys that own the club, that clearly understand the business of football and clearly understand Aston Villa. So with that in mind, you've got to work out for Jack Grealish, if going to Manchester City, if it is indeed a deal, right, if they are indeed prepared to pay what Aston Villa are asking, because Aston Villa have a degree of control over the situation. All they have is a contract that protects their financial interests in the player. Jack Grealish can leave Aston Villa. He just can't leave Aston Villa without Aston Villa's permission economically. So the longer the contract that they have with Jack Grealish, which they have with 4 years left now, they control the situation. But it don't stop Jack Grealish from leaving, because if Man City want Jack Grealish, or whoever wants him, they put down 100 million quid, then he'll probably be going to Manchester City. But the fact that they aren't prepared to do that is reflective of where the market really is. So I don't think it's a case of Jack Grealish really needs to do anything. No. I don't think Aston Villa really need to do anything.
Just sit tight.
They've got 4 years left on his contract.
Yeah.
4 years. I mean, you might think about it next year, but to do it now, to me, I think is playing out for the gallery and not necessarily for the benefit of either the player. The only thing you're going to get from putting him on a slightly longer contract is giving him more money now. Yeah, that's what he's going to get. He's going to get more money now. If he's got 100 grand a week now, he's going to get 150 grand a week now. And if that's important to Jack Grealish, then he'll sign a longer term contract.
But Simon's right, Danny, in that Villa and Grealish need to do next to nothing here. I mean, certainly over the weekend, the stronger talk is that City might be in for Kane and Grealish. And try and do two at once.
Villa don't have to do. They're in control because they've got the contract, the security, as Simon rightly says. Jack can do what he likes. He can knock on the door and say, "Now. I want to go now. I want to go and win trophies and play in Champions League." He is hot property at the moment. He is at the peak of his powers, and the problem is in football, it's very hard to have a longer term view as a player. When you're being advised, and generally you do get advised from with a consistent message when you do is take what you can when you can, because you don't know in a year you could do your knee, you could have a dip in form, and Jack Grealish all of a sudden isn't worth 90 million, 100 million, and he isn't playing to the level he's played this season, because this season he's been phenomenal, and at the moment he might not get a Man City opportunity again. So actually, it's not. Jack doesn't need to sit tight if he wants to move. He's got to be proactive. And Kane's done it. I mean, I was really baffled by Nuno's words there, Tottenham manager. It's like he's completely forgot what Kane said. Kane is actually, he's talking like he's our player, and I can't wait to have him back in the group and blah blah blah. Actually, if I was a manager, I'd be saying, well, I haven't spoke with him yet. I know he wants to leave, but I need to have a chat with him when he's had his rest and see where we go from there.
Yeah.
It's like they've forgotten what he said.
Well, that's right.
I want to. He has reiterated the point more than once that he wants to leave the club. So brushing it under the carpet for now, I suppose.
Well, but what he will be doing is he'll have had a conversation with Daniel Levy, and Daniel Levy will be saying he's not going.
Yeah.
And unless we get an absolute king's ransom, he's not going anywhere.
But
and there's no indication we're going to get that.
He could say that though, couldn't he? I know it's keeping the peace.
He's finding his feet,
finding
in a new
the
job.
right words.
Right, so he's going to be saying to the Tottenham fan base, "Here's my position. Right, I'm not interested in Harry Kane being sold. I'm only interested in Harry Kane. I don't care what
you're interested in. It's the reality. Deal with the reality. I'd be sitting there saying, I know he said he wants to leave. He really wants to leave the club. But when he comes back, I'm going to have a conversation with him.
So have you heard Harry Kane say, I'm bang on for leaving this club? I've not heard him say that. I've heard him do an interview with Gary Neville that was automatically assumed is a call to arms saying categorically I'm leaving. What he's done is given an interview and we've all gone, hang on a second. This is always, he's pretty much indicated that he definitely wants to go.
No, I mean, it's common knowledge that he had a desire, before the Euro, Simon, his desire was to move on from Tottenham, and his preference would be to get the deal done before the Euros began. Well, I mean, that was wishful thinking. That is
so did he actually say, I mean, I heard the interview with Gary Neville, maybe I've missed it. He categorically said that I would like to have a deal done before the Euros.
Simon, that was the statement he put out, yeah. That wasn't the conversation with Gary Neville.
I didn't hear that.
No, I mean, it's common knowledge, Simon, that he wanted, before the Euros, he was hopeful that a deal would be done so that he could move from Tottenham. The Euros began, that was forgotten about.
I don't think he said that at all. I think he put out...
Or maybe someone said
the
it on his
idea.
behalf, you mean?
I think he put out the idea and started to float the notion to keep people to get their head around it. But nobody in their right mind, not Harry Kane, and nobody ever understood that he was going to be doing a deal to move before the Euros, because it's not possible. He was away with the England cap. He wasn't going to be doing any deals.
That was what came out of the Kane camp, if you like. At no time did Harry take a position on a grassy knoll, look to camera and say these words.
The point being is...
What we do know is, yes, that was the intention.
The point being is, whatever Nuno says or doesn't say, it's going to have to be dealt with. He's still going to want to leave.
Yeah.
And Simon's right. It's going to take an astronomical amount of money to get him out. And Daniel's clever at playing that game.
Yeah.
But Harry Kane is in one of those positions, and I don't know how it's going to go because of Daniel's stubbornness and the amount of money they're talking about. But if he desperately wants to leave, he's going to have to knock the door down. And I don't know if that's in him.
Yeah, but I don't hear things that you guys hear. Two weeks ago, I understand that. But 2 weeks ago, Manchester City made a £100 million bid for Jack Grealish, which was absolute nonsense. It wasn't true. They hadn't made a £100 million bid for Jack Grealish. So I think people...
Our information then, Simon, is as strong as it is today.
Well, I didn't hear that.
There is a live pursuit by City, and 100 million is... I mean, all you got to do is read the newspapers, Simon. It's been in every newspaper as well.
I do read them.
That
Most of the time they're wrong.
But then again, we know what you think of the mainstream media.
Good.
10:30.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.